All right, and we are back. This time is talking about our Trinity video, or how our Trinity event went. So, in the first video, y'all saw the decks. Now, how did we do? Well, we were like clothes in a laundry machine. We got rinsed, boys. All right. I was hoping to get to like top four, but man, we got rinsed hard. We were like, oh, it was no bueno. All right. Now here's the thing, all right. So I played um so here's my mindset going into this, right? We are playing potentially 3 games. Now I love the game, right? I really do love this game. But I'm not going to keep my opponent here for an hour and a half on one match. All right. That did happen quite a few times where they only got to play one match. When they only had like 5 minutes, or they were into like 5 minutes of the second match. All right, it was uh, it really exploits one of the problem I think in this game, which is timing. It's just hard to judge how long you should have a tournament for. Because I love the Trinity event, but I hate the fact that it takes um I absolutely despise the fact that the game takes so long, because one match could take up to 45 minutes. I mean, most matches in the tournament are all singles, and they're all about an hour anyway. So we started the tournament a little later, like 116. I printed out my sheets, and then I had to cross out my super combo because I realized it was blue yellow. And then a lot of people enter their decks through the website or through the app. I don't know how to do that. I didn't even know you could do that. I went and printed it out like it said on the rules, and then no one else had it printed, and then we didn't bother to check if everyone's deck was legal or not. So, um, we just played 3 games. I played 4 games. I went through 4 games because again, I wanted to play more, and I wanted to play more games. And again, I don't have. I love the game, but I'm not sitting here for like 2 hours playing one match. We're not doing that. All right. So my first match was Gogeta versus Pan. I've never played against Pan. I've never even played with Pan, so I wasn't sure how she really worked. I wasn't sure how the unison worked either. So, um, definitely, in hindsight, definitely gonna need some. What's the word I'm looking for here? In hindsight, definitely gonna need some unisons or some unison killers for this deck when you're going into Pan, or some unison killer. I should have had what I should have had in this deck was the Bitter Saiyan baby, because that would have deleted that. At least 2 of those, because I really do feel that getting rid of unisons are just really helpful, because then they can't really counterplay you, because their counterplays rely on a unison. And blue actually does have that reliable bitter baby to get rid of unisons. So that's probably going to be. I don't know why I didn't think to put that in the deck. I should have thrown it in the deck though. I also made a terrible mistake. So if you remember in my last video, I told you my normal turn 1, turn 2, draw, charge. Turn 2, normally I play a Son Goku, and then I send a Vegeta to the drop. I attack. So I play the Goku, and then I attack. I combo. Normally I send the Goku to the drop, and I send one card to the Z charge. Then I fuse the Goku and Vegeta to get out one of my earlier fusions. And what I did was I attacked. Um, and then I realized that I didn't play the Goku on the field, so I couldn't perform my first turn fusion, and that just ruined my tempo. And I found myself really thinking about I didn't really think about my mistake yet, because I was like, all right, I still got a game to play. So we played the game, and we did the best we could. We ended up losing because I didn't have enough defensive tools for the deck. But yeah, having that counterplay like shut me down, because a lot of my fusions, even though they're good, they're all even though they all have deflect, they still see window 2. So it's really they still get removed window 2. So that sort of sucks. and then they end up with like this big card that I can't, that I found out that stays on the field because it came in through the counterplay. So it's a free counterplay, you know what I mean? And I now see the greatness in that. Now here's the thing, right? I saw that and I tried doing that in my second game, and I realized I couldn't do that in my second game. And the reason I couldn't do that in my second game is because I never really found a good time to get this guy onto the field. Because I'm really not trying to charge up Z energy. I'm really just trying to swing and end you. Because again, what did I tell you before? We are not trying to keep no one here for an hour and a half. We're just trying to play a game and keep it moving. So it was against Pan. The Gogeta game went better. We went into like turn 5. I couldn't kill him fast enough. So no, we went into like turn 4, and I couldn't kill him fast enough in order to do what I wanted to do. So that was a bit of that made me cry a little bit, but it is what it is. I think the first game really threw me for a loop because I was at 4 life by the time I awakened. And I never want to be at 4 life. I always want to be at 6 life when I awaken. Getting beat down to 4 because I messed up my awakening really, really hurts. So, yeah. So that's how that went. And then in our next game, we did green first. It was Successor Freezer versus Vegito. That game was really close. It could have came down to anyone, but I wanted the game to end. So because again, we were like 40 minutes into this match. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to sit you here forever. All right, either you win or I win. So I went in, all in, attack, and then I lost. And then he went in and he attacked and he won. And that was that. Could I have won that game? There is a world in which I might have won that game. And I say might have. But I didn't want to stay there. You know what I mean? We have 2 matches to play. And when we get to like 50 minutes, you're just like, all right, I don't know how we're going to do this. Because then if I win this one, he wins this one. And then I was like, sometimes you take the L. I chose to take the L. And I chose to bet, and I bet wrong. And that was on me. But could I, again, because I had a big hand. There were things I could have did. But I wasn't interested in fighting that long, good old battle. Now, our second game was against Blue Gohan, and that one was closer. I did keep taking life though, but I was okay with that because here's the thing, right? You gotta understand, like I didn't win any matches in my first match, so we're already starting off wrong, and then getting another loss in my first match is like, all right, now I'm just playing for funsies and I'm trying out new things with this deck to see what else I can do. Because an issue that I had, right, was again, I didn't realize that these guys stay on the field if you counterplay them. So I'm just trying to figure out new lines of play in my game, right? Because not understanding the tools of my deck definitely contributed to me losing the game. All right, it definitely did. And seeing new cards and not really knowing how to answer them also contributed to my loss. I've never played against Frieza's successor. I have played with Blue Gohan, so I had a good idea of how it worked. I've never yet played against Panzino. I've never played against Panzino. I have played with Pan. I have a good idea of how it works. But again, and also what also contributed, right? And this was a mistake I made in my game against the Blue Gohan, because I did play to win. Don't get it wrong. I did not just throw away any games. All right, I made mistakes that cost me the game, but I didn't willingly go, I'm just going to throw the game away, right? So here's the thing. Turn 2, right? He's got a leader and he's 3 cards on the field. None of them have barrier, right? So I've got Flash. I play Flash, right? And then I swing. What do you think I did wrong? I forgot to use his auto when played, his auto on play effect. Because I wanted to use his auto to wipe out their board and then swing. And I did swing. The swing went through. We left him. So he went from 6 life to 3 life. And I'm like, all right, he's within kill range. But I knew very well I couldn't survive the next turn. So sadly I had to play a second one and use my and burn my energy marker in order to wipe his board. When initially, all I had to do was play this guy, wipe the board, and then and because I had enough cards in my drop, I was able to, where are you? I was able to play this guy out, and then I wanted him to spend another card to block this attack. And then I would attack with my leader, draw a card, and now I'm not tapped out. I have one energy to do things with in case I need to stop something. But because I had to wipe out his board, and burnt my energy marker to do it. I had to go all in, and it didn't end up working. It didn't end up working like I thought it was gonna do. So yeah, it's just like I had to take the L at that point because we weren't gonna give me 1 second. My cat's knocked this down. I don't have anything for you little mofos, alright? Get your nose out of here. Yeah, we just, is there a world in which I could have won that? Definitely. Again, I could have won both those matches, alright? That is not up for debate. But I didn't win both of those matches. And that is also not up for debate, alright? I ended up losing both of them. But I ended up seeing more things that I could have done with my deck. Like in hindsight, again, I would have dropped a few more Gokus and Vegetas. Against Successor Frieza, I would probably not have played the Hyper Rushes, and I would have played things with barriers so my opponent couldn't just target them. Alright. Against the Blue Gohan, again, I think the board wipe was fine. I just wouldn't have burnt my energy marker. I would have saved it. And then for my Blue Gogeta, again, I should have added in a Bitter Saiyan. What else could I have done? I don't know. I probably would have taken out the 1-drops, honestly. I definitely would have changed my super combos. And yep, I definitely would have took out the Zamasu counters and the Son Goku counters and the Dabura counters. I would have took those out because those counter specific decks, and then if I would have took these two guys out, I probably could have added in another absolute release ball. Like these counter specific decks, but my other counters actually counter every deck. You know what I mean? So I could have used more of these to target more of my opponent's cards. And the same thing with my black deck and green deck. And then yeah, I think that's all I've got, honestly. I don't really have, it was a good event. I made mistakes. I won't say I played my best because I made mistakes, but I definitely did not give up until the fat lady sung. Alright, and yeah, we ended up getting rinsed. We ended up with the bye though. One of the players ended up retiring, so that's the only reason I didn't end up last. I just ended up second last because I stayed. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Would I play Trinity again? Definitely would. Here's the thing, right? I like using multiple decks because there's so, you collect enough cards, you can play multiple decks, alright? You just can. I've really got 15 decks on the fly at all times, alright? And most of them I just swap between cards to see what I want to do. Excuse me, but I have a lot of decks on the fly, so playing Trinity was definitely an interesting experience. But again, it's just this game takes forever sometimes. So, and the decks that did win were the decks that's they were the stalled decks. They were the decks that burnt your life, that milled. Those were the decks that I saw that was actually winning the most. And so it's really interesting to see because in an event like that, you win on time, you get one win, and then you just you're good because you didn't lose. So it's You know, you don't have any minuses. You just have wins. It's really a different way of strategy. If I were to change, in all honesty though, I don't think I would have played Blue Gogeta. I probably would have played Tapion because I've liked Tapion. I probably would have kept with Vegito. And for I'm not sure what I would have done for Black. Actually, I might have played Tien. I might have played Tien, and for Black, I might have played blah, blah. I would have played Mills Shenron. Holy crap. Man, try saying that 50 times. And yeah, I think that's it for now. I don't really have anything else to add. My matches were my last two matches. My second round, I felt really good going in, and it's a shame I lost, but you know it is what it is. Congratulations to everyone who played. You know who won. It was a really good game. Sadly, I didn't get to play against everyone because you only played two matches, but you know you win some, you lose some. What can you say? The only thing is whether you feel good about your wins or losses. The only loss I don't feel good about was against that Panzino because I made too many mistakes. But every other game I felt really good. And here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing, right? So I was asking the players, you know, who beat me, like, you know, I'm like, what do you guys think I could have did better? And it's interesting because from their perspective, they're like, you did a good job. You know, you stopped me from doing things I wanted to do. You were interrupting my cards. You were getting rid of things that were important to me. And in my head, I'm like, man, I felt like I did like crap. So it's really interesting how we beat ourselves up too. I will say that. You know, I won't take this like to the heart because I'm gonna have way more losses in the future and way more wins in the future. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add other than that. So I hope you've enjoyed this little thought-provoking discussion. And yeah, I gotta find a new deck to play for my locals now because I think I've got something interesting. I think I do. I've been buying cards. I've been sneaking up some cards. So yeah, we're gonna see what we do. But until then, I will catch you all later. Enjoy the rest of your day, and y'all didn't need to see that. Peace.